Let me ask you a question. So what do you think about coronavirus's name? As a name for a virus?
I think his name is going to cause some really interesting things to happen to the social media algorithms. I'll leave it at that. It's important that we remind you that this is brought to you by the African Warriors Fighting Championship in partnership with Stake.com from the beautiful city of Abuja. It is the King of Warriors Fight Night in Abuja tonight. When I see the hands being wrapped and then I still see the tape being put on, I know it's going down. I just know something terrible, something beautifully violent is about to happen. This is King of Warriors in partnership with Stake.com. We're about to go into our second fight of the evening, which is between Dandaba Dan Auta versus coronavirus.
Coronavirus stepped out of the sample.
About to go into the second fight of the evening.
Beautiful violence. Let's have it.
It's always beautiful to see how silent the arena gets. Everyone knows, these ones are going to come out swinging. You can already tell.
I'm hoping. I want to see some
You
kicks.
can see coronavirus. I like that. Disengage, feel the range, disengage. Use your range feelers, lead hand activity.
They seem to have a very similar style of baiting.
Of course. So I imagine we're going to see a very first strike, and then a very fast first strike, and then a counter following from whoever is on the receiving end. That seems to be how the rhythm that both men seem to be employing at this point in time.
Very curious about coronavirus's shorts.
Those
I think
shorts,
it might have some charms.
those shorts definitely carry what the Nigerian people will call jazz.
All right.
And that is the charm that gives you an extra spiritual edge over your opponent. First strike of the evening, double overhand from both men. All right, Mayo, what do you see from both men on the technical perspective?
It's a little bit wild in the start. They had such a cerebral, beginning. They look like they're really, really phasing each other out. But once they started to engage, it's just been absolutely wild.
That was a solid left hand that connected from Dan Auta.
That was a good uppercut there from
That was the first down from coronavirus.
Uppercut.
It may be that whatever he's wearing in his shorts, those charms, may truly be calling onto the spirits of the land and giving him a victory right now.
Yes, because I feel like I think this fight is over. This
Is
fight
it over?
might be over. This fight might be over.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's important to remember, Dambe is a KO intensive style of combat.
This fight might be over.
Fights are short, fights are quick, fights are deadly. It's called a kill on win for a reason. And it's a really tricky position. Hitting the chin, the brain snaps, and the collision on the inside of the brain with the skull, it just destabilizes anyone.
So I think that round 2 is about to commence. So this is classing as a knockdown, not a knockout.
Okay.
And Dandaba Dan Auta is looking a little bit better now.
Our beautiful ring girls ushering the second round of the second fight of the evening.
The second round, ladies and gentlemen, between coronavirus and Dandaba Dan Auta.
You see coronavirus using that lead hand to feint and keep his opponent preoccupied. But Dan Auta is just observant. Those eyes are unfeeling.
Oof.
Solid evasion on the overhand right.
Coronavirus just went in with a strong overhand right. Missed though.
You see the face?
Yes.
The hand preoccupying the face.
Keeping him away, yes.
Standard lead hand activity of Dambe right there on display. Coronavirus now being more active.
Coronavirus really reaching out with that hand, trying to grab that face and plant it ready. Oh!
But that was a solid block from Dan Auta, using his left hand, his shield, to block. Oh, he used his hands to blind the vision and momentarily take his opponent away.
Very smart.
Excellent smart work.
Well, same thing Coronavirus has been trying to do.
Oh, and that was a solid right hand that connected on the face of Dan Auta.
And then return from Dan Auta.
It's the same technique.
Yep.
You
They're
block,
very similar.
distract, and destroy.
These two are very similar, I must say.
And now,
their styles are very alike.
As you can imagine, in MMA, you have John Jones. Everybody says that he's the king of eye pokes because he uses his hands to obscure the vision of his opponent. But what you see right now is the exact same thing. These are techniques employed in Dambe. Distract with the shield, destroy with the spear.
Maybe John Jones has some Northern Nigerian history in there.
Last I checked, he was 60% Igbo, I believe.
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
So now, if you were to observe the footwork patterns of Dambe, Mayo, what would you say could be noted that stands out about the way it's approached in this sport?
I don't want to bring too much of another, art into this. I feel like this works for them, but there's a lot of crossing over with feet, which if you get hit at any of those moments, you might go down, even if the shot is not as hard. So the spacing that boxers use in moving, when you want to move forward, your lead leg takes you forward, when you want to move backward, your back leg takes you backwards. If you want to move to the left leg takes you. They don't seem to have that. They walk almost a lot of the time. When they're charging up, they stand right, but when they're moving, they start to walk, and that's where I feel like the problem might be.
Of course. And it's also really important to remember, ladies and gentlemen.
They just turn up coronavirus, turn up the aggression.
You saw the switch go off, and you can see him. He's saying that my right hand is going to connect with your face at some point in the next 10 seconds. And you see the confidence in the movement. And now here we go, ladies and gentlemen, throwing the overhand right. The referee likes what he sees. The action continues. We should be reminded, 3-3-minute rounds. That is the format for the evening. 1 minute break in between.
I really think Coronavirus has got Dan Auta.
And second round is done.
Coronavirus is beaming with confidence right now. And he's got Dan Auta on his back foot. He's backpedaling a lot. And I think he got a little bit shook. Maybe that first round drop is still hanging in his mind there. I'm hoping that comes in the third round with more confidence and just takes it to Coronavirus.
Of course.
If he leaves Coronavirus that way, he's going to keep growing the confidence and Coronavirus is going to put him out.
So one of the things that is always interesting to see is the adaptations that take place in between rounds. You have their cornermen screaming at them right now, giving them instructions. Coronavirus looks like he's ready to go. It looks like he was born for this very moment.
He's dancing, he's doing everything.
Yeah, having fun. He doesn't look like he's already done 2-3 minute rounds already. And just like that, 1 minute. Done, ladies and gentlemen. We're going right back into the third round of the evening. Third round of the second bout of the evening. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it starts with range. And you see Dan Auta using his lead hand to distract, but not quite having the angle to deliver the payload from the spear on the right hand.
There's a lot of face grabbing going on between the both of them.
It's important to say, Mayo, that is legal.
Yes.
It's a technique that is practiced in the sport of
I
Dambe.
hold your face and I break your face.
Of course.
Beautiful. Oh!
But then you see the counter to the holding is if I dip, your hand goes over my head and my overhand can follow right over the top. And you saw Dan Auta employed that particular strategy on that exchange. And just like that, we're right back to neutral.
Dan Auta seems to be getting himself back and he's pushing the action now. He's got Coronavirus moving backwards. That was a body shot.
Of course.
I've not seen many of those.
Very interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, punches and kicks are allowed. That was an uppercut that missed from Dan Auta. And you see,
Face grab
distract
again.
with the face grab, and then unload with the spear.
Wow.
Oh, that landed on the back. That doesn't count as a point. And you see Dan Auta measuring the range. He seems really confident.
He's focused. He's very focused.
Oh, and you see coronavirus working the body.
Gave a body shot as well. These two gentlemen are very, very alike.
And they are very intelligent.
I feel like they've trained together. They had the same coach.
Oh, that was a
Wow,
beautiful,
one.
beautiful distraction with the left hand and an overhand right from Dan Auta. And you see them back in the neutral, establishing range. That was about, and now we're in the clinch. Both men exchanging.
Wild uppercuts coming out.
Of course. You have to remember that this is the final round. And both men know that they have to do it. Oh, that was a nice quick short hook from Dan Auta. The referee getting in there as well.
I want to give a lot of respect to the referee because he gets himself right in there.
I think it's fair to assume that the referees are former fighters.
I can only imagine so. I don't think a normal civilian will get in the middle of that.
Absolutely not. Oh, that was he keeps Dan Auta has that beautiful technique on that right hand. He lands it straight from the hip. He just shoots it, boom, and it connects right on the chin.
Wow, a lot of power from coronavirus.
Whoa, and he did it again right there.
Yes.
He touches, and he
then
throws.
Boom, drops it down.
And then he uses the evasive footwork to escape. He tried it again right there. Straight to the chin. You can see coronavirus, the confidence is no longer quite as obvious from both men.
I don't think the power might be as much from Dan Auta, but he landed.
Coronavirus landing a solid right hand on Dan Auta.
Beautiful.
Right on the last exchange.
Dan Auta still in his face, still coming forward, pressing the action.
And now both men, and just like that,
another fight goes the distance.
Goes the distance. You have an appreciative audience giving their energy, lending their energy to our fighters for the evening. And you have some people screaming coronavirus's name.
Coronavirus and of course Dandaba Dan Auta.
And you have some people screaming Dan Auta.
They're making their decision to know who becomes the winner at last. It was a tough one between them. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see,
coronavirus.
Coronavirus got the nod.
On this particular fight,
I feel like that first round knockdown got the steal for him.
Yeah, it did. It
took everybody's attention
away. But then, if you were to look at it with a bit more of a discerning eye, you may have judged the latter part of that fight in Dan Auta's favor.
I feel the same.
The delivery on those short right hands.
I think there was more contact from Dan Auta.
Of course.
Because the coronavirus had a lot more dramatic punches. It was big and wild. When they landed, they seemed very powerful.